Good morning, everyone. It is Titanium Tuesday once again. I cannot believe again that it's Tuesday again. Good morning, Mr. Knives Are Life, Mr. and Mr. Sever. Hope you gentlemen are doing great this morning. Yeah, Knives Are Life. Take a rag and wrap it around the stop pin and use a pair of pliers so you don't damage it and try to pull it out that way. I'm not sure exactly how you've got it stuck. I couldn't understand from the pictures, but yeah, just let me know. So, good morning, Mr. Pete. I have got a couple of knives in my pocket. Carried this in my front pocket last night because I like it and because it's big. That's what she said. Then in my back pocket, I carried my new little ProTech Oligarch. And I like this thing too. I've been really impressed with the ProTech autos that I've gotten. This one needed a little bit of work. It was, whenever I tightened up the pivot all the way, the blade wouldn't come out at all, so I had to sand it a little bit last night at work. But I do like it. Morning, Mr. Michael and Mr. John. Sever, no, I don't mind if you do that in a little while. That's fine. I saw you post that on the Discord yesterday, kind of before even asking me. But no, I don't care. I'll bring you up in a little while. Yeah, we'll do that. So let's see here. Everybody hit that thumbs up on your way in. So yeah, this Oligarch is a cool shape. Good size knife. I like the blade shape on it too. So yeah, that one, and then this one's nice too. Let me see, let me throw it over here. And then I carried 3 more knives with me last night. It was an Azusa Blade Works night, so I carried the Blitzkrieg, which is an awesome Miguron to OEM knife from him. One of my favorites. And I carried the Cochise, one of the easiest opening front flippers you can possibly get. I like the looks, I like the feel of it too. It's a very comfortable knife. So yeah, I had those two in my bag, in my little pouch. And then the third one I took was my Kevin John Maverick 2. The milling on the Miguron reminded me of this one a little, but the milling on this one is just out of control. Nice. So I carried it last night too. So really I had these 5 knives with me. It's a good selection of knives to choose from during the night. This one might quite possibly, this one is definitely in the top 5 of action. It's got perfect action. And this one is pretty close to being in the top 5. It's... Good morning, Matt Maurer. Hope you're doing well, sir. So, good morning, Waylon. So let me show y'all. Yeah, I scout carry too. I had this on my waist. I usually have this on me at all times. No, Michael, I didn't see the video of him crying again. I've had great customer service from Miggeron, so I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I keep this on my waist most all the time now. I did not see that, Michael. What was he talking about? So I guess y'all might want to see this. The star of the show. Not really the star of the show, but today's knife. And this is the new Eldorado in Vanax for under $100. I don't know what I did to my thumb, but it hurts. So this is it. Yeah, that would be kind of weird sending a knife back to China since their knife laws are so weird. But yeah, this thing is not nearly as top heavy as you think it would be, and the handles are very comfortable and lock you in really good. Finger choil feels great too. The way that little groove right there kind of locks you into the scales, and the balance point on it is right here about where your finger sits, so it's not top heavy. I can get 4 fingers on it perfectly behind the curve here, and then when you choke up it feels really good. Super cool knife. Glad to see him doing Vanax for under $100. It's got a very aggressive stone wash on the blade. Morning, TC. I've never even thought of attempting to return a knife to China. They've always just given me my money. And I guess if they do ask you to return stuff, it goes to a warehouse here somewhere. Yeah, this is the new Eldorado. I'm sure most of y'all saw my unboxing. Mister, I thought it was a fixed blade. I didn't pay attention. Yeah, I thought it was a fixed blade. Very comfortable though. Anyway, I guess nobody cares. I'll put it back up. All right. I guess y'all want to see the drama going on, huh? Let me go see if I can find the drama and see what he says. So I'm guessing it's this video. We will we'll check it out, I guess. No sound. Oh, it's real light. Sorry.
It's like that obviously doesn't exist. Like this isn't a car. Like I can't just go to, you know, the local knife repairman and get this detent plate fixed, right? That's not realistic. Also, like the nature of this problem is that the whole,
y'all didn't hear what he said, but they told him,
you know, I have an Arma with really bad detent play.
Sorry. I didn't know the volume got turned down somehow.
Can I get a refund if I send it in? Can I do what can I do here, right? And the response really got me thinking, because I was like, oh, this sucks. So basically, first they said, okay, well, there's not really anything we can do about it, because if you send the knife back to China, it will be destroyed by customs, because you're not allowed to just ship knives to China. So they said, okay, is there anyone I can ship it to in the United States? Like, do you have someone working here? Because I'm aware that some Chinese companies, Chinese OEMs, they do have like US representatives. So I was like, yeah, do you have a US representative that I can send this to so I can get a replacement or get it fixed or whatever, like any solution? Like, I'm open to any reasonable solution. And they said, no, you'll have to find a local repairman, which, like, that obviously doesn't exist. Like, this isn't a car. Like, I can't just go to, you know, the local knife repairman and get this detent plate fixed, right? That's not realistic. Also, like, the nature of this problem is that the hole in the detent, or sorry, the detent hole in the blade is way too big, and that's why they're slopped, and it's also maybe not in the right location, but usually it's just the hole's too big. That's not something that anyone can fix.
That's what she said.
You need to either make a new blade for it, or you need to put a bigger detent ball to compensate for the size of the hole being too large, or some other solution of that sort, right? So not something that your random like machine shop can do for you. So I said, look, there's no way I can find a local repairman for this. It's your product, it's your issue. Like, can we figure something out? They said, okay. and they sent me some useless repair parts. The reason I say useless is because I guess they don't fully understand what is causing this issue, because like I said, it's because the detent hole's too big in the blade. And so they said, yeah, we'll send you replacement parts. Now I thought they were going to send me like a replacement blade, right? Instead what they sent me was a bunch of screws and a lock bar insert, which, like, in theory a new lock bar insert could solve the problem, because the detent ball is pressed into the lock bar insert if they put a bigger detent ball in the lock bar insert or something like that. But they just sent me their normal lock bar inserts, so obviously this is with the new lock bar.
So I got a question. So yeah, he's a little bit, I don't know, he's a little bit whiny, but he said he expected them to send him a blade. So why didn't he just ask him to send him a blade? Does he do that eventually? Does that come up in this video? Like,
and that obviously did not fix the problem. So
like, I'm just curious, because I just got mine out to check, and mine has absolutely zero detent lash. So he got a bad one. And did he buy it straight from them? Like, I'm confused about the whole thing. But mine has absolutely zero detent lash. And saying that you're worried about buying a knife from Migron, you can't return any knife to China. So I'm curious if he finally asked them for a blade, because I'm sure they would send him a blade if he asked. But he said he expected them to. They don't know really what his problem is, so I'm curious to see what he does here. Let's finish up and see what he says. See if he asked him for a blade and they turned him down, because that would suck.
Well, I am a little frustrated. This is not the most expensive knife ever. It costs like $250 or something like that, which is expensive enough that it shouldn't have this issue, and there should be some level of warranty or backing to it, which there really kind of isn't. At least nothing that's like, it's not even that they have a system for sending replacement parts out. He was like, yeah, let me look around the factory and see if I can find something. And then he reached out to me later and was like, oh, I found some replacement parts, which were not the parts I actually needed. The reason I bring this up is not just to say that, like, okay, just be aware that if you buy...
Okay, so no, he didn't ask him for a blade? So he didn't ask him for a blade, but he's mad they didn't send him a blade. Okay.
Buy a knife from Migron, you're not going to have real warranty coverage, at least like real like solutions that are in place. Maybe you could argue for something and be like, hey, I demand a refund, which I did ask for a refund, and I'll wait for a response on that. But there isn't really like a setup, like this is the procedure.
So he put out this video before they told him they'd give him a refund, because they will give him a refund. So, but he decided to put out the video just after he asked for a refund, but he didn't wait for the response, and then he just put out the video. That's kind of crappy. I hope he puts out a new video when they say, sure, I'll give you a refund.
Procedure for warranty, you just follow these steps and your problem will be solved. It's more just like yeah, we don't really have any system in place, and if you have an issue, we'll try to figure something out, but like we might not have any solution. And in my mind, the reason this matters is because like, and this can go for any company. Like, it's possible for any company to say, yeah, we don't really have warranty coverage. But the reality is that if you buy knives from like not China, generally speaking, they do have warranty. Especially if you buy, like, I can't really name an American company, like, you know, like a American production knife company that doesn't have any warranty. It's kind of just expected, and that's built into the price. Like these companies like Benchmade, Spyderco, whatever, they have warranty departments, right? They have people whose job is specifically warranty, which is an expense that goes into the cost of the knife, right? Part of the reason why I guess these knives can be so cheap is because that doesn't exist, because the Migrons are...
Yeah, I can't listen to him anymore. Like really, like he asked him for a refund, and then he put out the video before they responded. And I know they'll give him a refund. So, like, what's the point? Like, and he also got a bad knife. And you can't return any knives to China. Yes, they may have some local U.S. place you can send it to, but every knife I've ever had issues with, they just sent me a new one. Like, I've had multiple Chinese companies just send me another knife and say, keep that one, and here's a new one. Like, yeah, I bet I could fix his detent lash too. And the fact is, this one has 0. This one doesn't move at all. Not in the least bit. It's got perfect detent. But for him to put out the video, it was just another whiny video about him wanting people to buy American knives, I guess. Because you know, Chinese companies will send you free knives. Like, they have no problem sending a whole nother knife. And if he would have said, can you send me a blade instead of the lock bar insert, which they thought might have fixed the problem, they would have sent him a blade. Like, even if they had to eat the cost of a whole knife just to take a blade out of it, like, they probably would have just sent him the whole new knife. But Sam has great customer service. I mean, I've dealt with him. They sent me free pivot kits. They paid for shipping. So I have no problems dealing with Migron customer service. In fact, there was a post not long ago on Reddit about another guy who posted how great their customer service was. Let me see if I can bring that up. This is the second whiny video in a row from this guy. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with him, but seems like he likes to whine. I think this was, yeah, this is the one that says, contacted Migron Knives to ask for a new lock bar insert for one of their frame locks after I did some unfortunate work with a file. Mr. Liu responded immediately saying he'd look in the warehouse. Within a few days, he contacted me saying he found them and asked which lock bar color I had. Only charged me $10 shipping, sent 2 inserts plus an entirely new lock bar. Excellent customer service for Migron Knives. I was impressed that he made the effort. And of course, you're going to have good and bads. The newest one I saw, I think, there's going to be people that have good and bad experiences. But there's one with great customer service. I mean, that's a risk you take buying knives from China. They're QC, you know, but they'll fix the problem. I mean, I've never had them not. By the way, there's the new FSD. It's coming out in November. Can't wait to get it. I think the quality on all of my Migrons is superb. I've not had any problems with them. And I did need a pivot set for one, and they sent it to me for free. And I've shown the insides of these two where they take pride in their manufacturing. And all those ones I just showed were OEM'd by Migron and are great knives. I mean, this one right here is a great knife. Awesome milling, awesome fit and finish. Yeah, Michael, like I said, there's always people on both sides. But this is a great Migron. So is the little Cochise that I just had out. And so far, it looks like this Eldorado and Vanax is going to be a great OEM knife. But some people don't want to buy Chinese knives. I get it. OK Knives has sent me multiple knives. When I just mentioned one little thing was wrong with it, he just sent out another one. He didn't even ask like what I needed to fix it. He just sent a whole new knife 2 or 3 times. Let's see, what else is going on in the knife world today? A lot more people got their neutralizers yesterday. I'm wondering if Dark Water got his. I finally broke down and ordered some of that wax, that knife wax. So I'm excited to, I was just going to make some because it's equal parts wax and oil, mineral oil. But I was just going to make my own, but I ended up buying some. Oh yeah, Mr. Sever, that link should be active whenever you want to hop on. Oh, that was this knife, Vanax for under $100. The new Eldorado. This is Vanax blade steel. Yeah, because if they say they're going to refund him, then what's the problem? Yeah, I agree, Michael. I think it's crappy that he posted a video dogging them before they had a chance to fix the problem. I don't know. I guess everybody's not like me and forever optimist. But William, this is the Vanax knife the title was about. I got to send this back to him because he's got to have it for a blade show at the end of the month. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I tried to cover everything I could think of. Oh, one of the really cool things, I like Migueron. I don't love them. They're not my favorite, but they do great work. And I haven't bought a bad one. The Miro and the Vane are two. I mean, if you ask anybody who owns a Miro or a Vane, they're one of the top front flippers and one of the top crossbar locks in the game. Like, but the Miro is one of the best front flippers in the game. And the Migueron Vane is one of the best crossbar locks in the game. And they have awesome milling, and like their fit and finish is awesome. Like, for the price you pay, like their milling and their fit and finish and all the inlays they do. I mean, this one, the Pierogi, has some of the best color. I mean, the inlays on this are so smooth with the titanium. And again, it's a weird looking knife, but the fit and finish on them are great. Like, and another one that's in a lot of people's top favorite knives ever is the Mojarl. I mean, that's another super comfortable knife, super great knife with great milling. I compare Migueron to an Artisan cutlery. They're on par with Artisan, in my opinion, except they do a little bit more milling work, it seems, than Artisan does. Seems like most all of their knives have milled finishes, because if you look, the The Archery and the Archery both have micro milling. So does this Kovog. So does the Moyarl, the Vane, and the Miro. So like most of their knives have this nice milling. Fred, what did you ask? If is that the Hellfire? This is the Hell Dorado. Yeah, the Vanax for $100. Yeah, the Hell Dorado. He sent it to me real quick for me to review it, and I got to send it right back to him because he's got to have it for the end of the month for a knife show. So I guess he doesn't have too many prototypes yet. But yeah, Andrew, the Cochise is a great little knife. That forward choil on it's great. It's super comfortable. I mean, it's a great little value knife, and it's one of the easiest front flippers that anybody could ever get. Like, if you can't work a front flipper, this one is great. Like, I can't do the little light switch thing with my finger, but I can do it with this one. Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah, I'm not good with the little finger thing, but this one makes it easy. Any way you want to. Yeah, Fred, I've talked about that a bunch, about Samir. Oh yeah, the gray PVD looks great on this knife. It's bladealchemy.hop2.org. Sever. Yeah, bladealchemy.hop2.org. Yeah. No, we don't like the holes. I bought that knife just to support him because he's such a cool dude. Azusa Blade Works, that is. And I guess he's only offering 3 of them free with the Hell Dorado. He's offering the black and black, the black and satin, and the gray and gray. So I believe he's got 5 or 6 models of it. Yeah, 5 models. So he's not offering the green or the white, but the black and black, black and satin, and the gray and gray. But they're $45, so getting that knife for free for $97.50, you're basically paying $52.50 for a Vanax knife, 3.5-inch blade. And the angle he's got that picture at makes it look like the blade is bigger than it is. But as you can see when I showed it on the table, it's definitely not. Oh, Sever, I didn't see you pop in, sorry. I had it muted. I don't know if you can hear me, Sever. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right, sir. Let me get you brought up here. Give me just a second. Turn off Firefox. Well, let me get a main image up. What happened? Alright. Add browser. Add your source. 1920 by 1080. Boom. And boom. Alright, you're up on screen, Sever. They can now.
Okay, dope. Alright guys, so I'm just going to fly through some knives for sale. I'm going to start with some knives that I have for sale, and then I'll go through some of the clones and stuff that the modder sent over for sale. So for me, oh, and if you guys are interested in something, just shoot me a message and I can send you like videos and stuff of it. The first thing is going to be the Max Ace Peregrine 2. It's got a nice dual grind, hollow over here, flat over here. This is riding on washers, but it's probably the smoothest washer action on any knife that I've ever handled. Overall, just a super dope piece. Next, we've got a Lemifshi duck. So I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of these. Action isn't quite as good as the Jewel Fool, in my opinion, but it's still very good, still a very nice knife. Next, we have the Vanguard Cheetah. This is a beautiful hand satin, carbon fiber inlays, deep carry mill titanium pocket clip. And the action's great. And this is on skiffs. Next we have two goofy ones. So this is a tenable Fermi. So the actual knife itself is like 50 bucks. But I slapped $125 scales on it because I thought it would look dope. And it does in fact look pretty freaking dope. So action on it's good, disengagement's good. I haven't used it just because I have dedicated users that I use. But this one's cool. Obviously I wouldn't sell it for the cost of the scales and the knife. I would sell it for quite a bit less than that. But if you're interested, there it is. And then we have a Civivi, although I can't remember the name of it. I did a flipper delete, and then I put these scales on it. Now, ever since I've had the knife, it's had this weird splotch. It's got a little bitty one on the back, and it's got a bigger one on the front. Not sure why. I've tried to take it off with alcohol and, you know, even like hot soap and water, but nothing does anything to it. So I'm guessing it was a flaw in the Damascus or something. But the action on this is quite good. Snappy. So if anyone's interested in any of these knives, it's the Max Ace Peregrine 2, Usler Duck Clone, the Vanguard Cheetah, Fermi, and then the Civivi. We'll just say that. And those are knives that are coming out of my personal collection, so those proceeds would go to me. The rest of these are for the modder, and all proceeds would go directly to him. For starters, we've got this ZT. It is a clone ZT, which I couldn't tell right out of the gate. The action on this is probably my favorite of all the knives he sent. Almost like a Herman. It has like a double detent where it has like a break and then a second break. And there's a very specific way that I measure action. I drop it to the 6 o'clock, and then I rotate from the 3 o'clock over here to the 9 o'clock. And if it lands between the 8 and the 9, the action's good. So the action on this knife is very good. All right, next up, we've got some striders. It's got this semi-mirror blade. Good action. Nice close. Overall, really nice knife. We have a second strider. One of the striders is spoken for, and the amphibian is also spoken for. This one probably has the best dropping action. And I'll tell you if there's anything scuffed about any of them. Like there's one knife I'll show you that I wouldn't recommend anybody buy because I feel like the action is like way too weak. But the ones I've shown so far are fine. This one's got the stiffest action, but I don't think it's because it's not broken in. I think it just needs some lube. All right, so those are the striders. Just a sec, guys. All right, so up next we've got the Shiros. It's got that semi-mirror. Oh, sorry. I keep knocking the camera. Yeah, this one I think is the one that you can get the detent, but it's kind of slow on the drop, and I think that's because of the finish he put on the blade. It's not broken in yet, but also it's easy to fail. So, I mean, if you can deal with that, you know, that's fine, because you can, with just a little effort, get it out. But overall, the detent does feel pretty weak. Same model, different colorway. This one has much better action. It still needs to break in for the drop. Oh, nope, I'm tripping. No, it doesn't. Yeah, this one's much nicer. So it's the yellow one that I'll probably just send back to the guy because y'all, you know, we're friends, and I don't want you guys to get something that I don't think you'll be happy with. All right, we're down to the last 4. These guys I think are particularly cool. This one needs to break in a little bit on the drop, and once again, I think that's just because the finish has been applied and it just hasn't been fidgeted enough. But the overall action is very good. I promise I do not intend to keep hitting the camera arm. As I continue slapping the ever-living shit out of the camera arm. So this is the same model, just a different colorway. These are, as far as I'm told, these are actual M390. I don't have any way to confirm that. It says M390 on the blade, but you know, some knives do that. This one has a stiff bead time.
They're not real M390.
Okay.
I asked one of them I asked one of the sellers, and he said it's real 14C 28N though.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So there's that one, and then we've got 2 left. So these are all pretty much sitting right at $100. I did ask him if I could hook my friends up with a discount. He got back to me last night and said that I could. So this is the Chavez Scapegoat. The action on this knife is very much drop shutty. You don't have any lock bar access, but it takes the smallest amount of pressure to disengage it. So it's kind of a wash. Normally you want lock bar access to make it easier to disengage, but this one disengages every time pretty easy. And it's got a bit of a hydraulic close. It's not super drop shutty. But overall, I'd say this is one of my favorite ones just because the action's super good. Oh, and it does come with both pocket clips. And then the very last one is going to be a Demco clone. These are all clones, except the ones I showed you for mine. I think this guy's pretty dope looking. Now, I don't know if it's true for the real ones or not, but I notice if I pull this back as hard as I can, sometimes it doesn't. Well, I was going to say, yeah, like that. So I guess if I pull it back before this gets past the breaking point, it'll sit there. But if I let it drop a little bit, then it doesn't do that. But overall, this is a dope little piece. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys. If anything in this little section interests you, or if you want more videos or info on something, just reach out and let me know. And I can definitely work with you guys on the pricing now that I have his permission. So if you want something but it's a little out of reach, just let me know, and I'll do whatever I can for you. And that's it.
All right, man. Appreciate you for hopping on and showing those.
Yeah, appreciate you for letting me.
Oh, no problem, man. All right, later.
Later.
All right, so Andrew.
Can you still hear me?
I can't. All right. So, you asked how he did that. So let me try to explain it really easy. So, when you're doing multiple colors on a knife, when you're doing ano, as long as you start with the high voltage colors first, whatever areas you mask off, you can then do with a lower voltage color and it won't affect the higher voltage colors. So the way he does it is he takes a knife like this and he uses that Cricut machine to print vinyl stencils of the patterns he wants. And he'll either polish, so some of those were really bright silver. So what he'll do is he'll mirror polish the titanium. Then he'll put a stencil that's the reverse of the pattern that he wants on there so that it covers up all the places that he wants to remain silver. And then he'll ano with the stickers on there so that it only anos the places that are open with that pattern. And if he wants to do two different colors, he'll put a stencil down, he'll do that color, and he'll do the highest voltage color first, and then he'll put another stencil down and he'll do the lower voltage color because it won't affect the higher voltage colors. So he uses vinyl stickers basically to cover up and mask what he doesn't want to ano. And then you do the highest voltage colors first, and then the lower voltage colors last. And you can keep stepping down and do multiple colors, because the lower, as long as you don't reach the voltage of the higher voltage colors, it won't change them. So that's how he does it for the most part. He does a combination of polishing scales to make that bright patterns. And then he does some of the dark patterns. He uses the manganese sulfate like I did the blackening. And then he uses colors for all the other stuff. So that's how he gets the patterns. I hope you kind of understood that as I talked through it. I don't know if it made sense to you, but that's how he does it. So, that being said, it would be really cool to show y'all a video that a guy did that kind of I learned by watching, you know, other people, of course, or by doing research. And there's a guy that did a really cool, let me see if I can find it really quick here. Give me just a second to find the one I want to show you. Yes. All right, so this is kind of the guy that I watched that gave me some basics. So maybe this will give y'all some basics if you're curious about it. And it won't take long. But this is how you use the etchant. So he's doing a balisong, and basically he's using wink, and he's showing you how to etch the metal. So you drop it in the wink and you wait for it to start to bubble, and then you count to 3. He just said that. Hold on.
I'm gonna is in there. Once it starts to bubble, we're gonna count to 3. Then we're gonna take it out and we're going to do a double wash. Okay, so here, I'm going to bring you guys in here a little more so you can see this better.
So this is
okay,
wink,
so start with these little pieces.
or hydrofluoric acid.
There you go, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, wash it 1. Drop it in the other one.
So he's going to wink everything first to etch it so that it takes the anode good.
1, 2, 3.
You do a double dip so you don't contaminate the second one.
Once it starts to bubble, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Wash these off real good. And I like to
so he does that with all the scales.
cloud time.
We're going to go through this pretty quickly.
Alright guys, so what I'm going to do to get started is first I'm going to do the little spacer to find out purple fade color.
So he's going to try to find his colors. But this is how you do patterns and colors. So
you can always,
he's going to do the little backspacer to find his voltage that he wants to use.
Gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up right in, just like this.
So he's going to hold it halfway in there. And he's doing a 58.7 volt color.
Just gonna wait till the amps get down to 0.1.
And you wait till the amps get down to 0.
Alright, and I got that fade on there. So we're gonna put that aside for now. I'm gonna do the same thing to each one of these.
So he's doing half. He's doing half the scales in one color.
It's the same to me.
And he waits till the amperage drops to 0 there.
Yep.
Whoops, sorry.
Looks the same to me.
And he's going to do that with all 4 of these.
We got one more.
And then...
Okay, now I'm going to just have to cut the camera and decide what color of purple I want. So it's going to be somewhere between 65 volts to 85 volts. So I'm going to take a time, think about what other color I want, and I'll be right back.
Now you can also do the low voltage colors first if you want to do a fade over top of that color. So that's why he did the low voltage first on this one.
Alright guys, so I decided to go now with the purple color of 72 volts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook it up to the other side here. So I'm going to hook it up right here. And now I'm going to dip this side in. So notice it goes right about to the middle. So right when there's... I'm do one of those to kind of make it fade.
So he's doing like a fade between the two to blend the colors.
Pull it out slowly.
And since that lower one was a lower voltage,
cool fade there, and that's going to be my start.
It did a little fade between them.
Splash pattern, so I'm going to put it here.
So he's going to do that with each one of these scales.
Pull it out like that.
Get a little fade between them.
Got another fade on that one too. All right, so far I'm doing pretty good.
And then he does the same with the other 2 sets.
That one as well. There we go. I like the way that one turned out. All right, they all look pretty much the same. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm actually going to get out some fresh paper towels, dry everything off, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a cool splash anno. All right,
okay,
guys,
now this is how he does the splatter.
It's actually really easy to do. I got these spacers on their sides because the side is the only thing you see when you do it. So I'm actually going to have to do this from both sides. I'm going to have to, once this dries, flip it and do the other side. But the regular scales, I just have to do this one side. I don't know why I have topped the water there.
So he's going to use acrylic random fingernail polish.
Nail polish. And I'm just going to let it drizzle out. Hopefully there's enough in here. And I'm going to go like this. Just totally random. If it's a little blotchy, no big deal. Alright. So now I'm just going to let that dry like that, and we'll be back. Alright, guys.
Now let me explain it. So now he has anode all those colors, and he covered them up, and wherever there's fingernail polish, it'll stay that color. And if he does a higher voltage anode, then it'll cover up all the rest of it. So what he's doing is he's making the color pattern of that is going to be the colors that he's already done that he covered up. And then he's going to do a higher voltage for the whole thing.
So
and
they are all dry,
you'll see what happens.
Sure you really let these dry.
So now he's going to pick a higher voltage, which is 85.5 volts,
85 volts, and
he's going to do the entire thing in that higher voltage. So check this out. So see how he dropped the whole thing in there?
Cool.
So now the higher voltage covers up all the rest of that stuff.
Can't wait to take.
And only the place where he put the fingernail polish will those original colors show through. So now he covers up all those other colors with this 85 volt color. And then he takes fingernail polish remover.
So a little bit.
And removes the fingernail polish.
All this, and we can see how our final anode looked. So we got the non-acetone type of nail polish remover here. That should be more than enough. I got some Q-tips too to get into the hard to reach areas, but it's gonna go kind of like.
And so he wipes off all the nail polish, and it shows the colors that he originally did showing through wherever there was nail polish.
All right, guys, to get the
So let's watch. So final assembly.
All right, guys, check real good, and then we're gonna start putting it back together.
So there you go. So there's how you kind of wrap your mind around how to do different colors by using fingernail polish or stencils. So basically, you can do the same thing with those vinyl stencils that he did with the nail polish.
When you do that splash, you almost want to just don't even think about it. Don't even try hard. If you I honestly did the sloppiest job with that nail polish, and it came out amazing.
So there you go. So there's a splatter anode. So hopefully watching him do those different colors at different voltages kind of explained what I was talking about. But instead of using nail polish, that other guy uses vinyl stencils. Yeah, enamel. I don't know. I've got some over here. I don't know. I guess they're enamel. Acrylic enamel. I said acrylic, but I guess acrylic is enamel, isn't it? Yeah, I've got some over here. I don't know what it says on it. I don't know. What does it say? Made in China. Peel here. Wet and Wild Mega Last. Oh, these are just old and weird colors. Pure Ice. I don't know. L'Oreal enamel. Yeah, enamels. Nail enamel. Apply 2 coats. I got a bunch. I got 4 or 5 down in here. Some of them are more liquidy than others. It's a gel. Extreme Shine. Yeah, I just got some of the ones that Gal didn't want. Oh, that reminds me, there's my shaman scales. I started making shaman scales out of this weird colored G10. I started shaping them. I gotta get a grinder. I gotta finish. I think I lost the other half of it. This is a weird bucket. No, there's a piece of black micarta. Aha, here's the other piece. So I didn't lose it. I thought I lost it. Maybe I lost the other piece of this black micarta. And that's what I was thinking of. But I started making shaman scales. And I got them close. I don't know what I was thinking. These are ugly. But one of those times where I didn't finish it. And I did them opposite, so I don't know, whatever. Yeah, John, it's the same process basically, except he does a fade the kind of the same way that that guy did the fade. So you can, the way you can do a fade is the same way. So you just take your liquid and turn it up to a real high voltage and have it in there all the way when you turn it on. And then right after you turn it on, start slowly pulling it out, and it'll give it a fade all the way down the scales. So as you're pulling it out, it'll only have time to change the colors a little bit at a time. So that's how you do the fade all the way across it. And this is how. Whoops, hold on. So up there at the top, he basically just did two colors like the guy did and faded them in the middle. He did a blue on one end and an orange, or you can't do orange, but, and then in the middle, like, he kind of cross faded it kind of like the same way that guy did. But there's that picture. So I hope that explained a little bit of it. Mister's tying one on this morning. He might do that every morning. Why he always talks about BJ's. Not sure. All right, what else is going on today in the knife world? This oligarch is pretty cool though. I bought another one of those 90 knife cases that should come in today, so that'll be good. I can get some of these knives off the table. All right, what else we're gonna look at today? Let's see. Yeah, here's the G23 Custom Knives guy on Reddit. But now you can kind of look at some of these pictures and you can kind of tell what I was talking about. So the way he did that was he made a stencil. He anoded it gold. Then he made a stencil to cover the gold part he wanted to keep, and then he anoded it blue over top of it. And then that one, he polished some of it, and he uses an acid to make some of those lines in the titanium. And that's how he etches the blades too, with some acids. But yeah, he does a lot of polishing, it seems, but he's got too much going on some of these for my liking. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't sell with how there's so many people that like to be flashy like this today, but he also does some cool patterns like this. And he did that with stencils also. And you just have to kind of think of the negative areas. So you have to think about what you want to leave on there and just work backwards. And do the different colors with the different stencils. And start with, you know, the highest voltage ones will stay on there, and then the lower. Anyway. The way that I found to polish titanium is the same way that I polish blades, and that's with diamond paste and a Dremel buffer wheel. But I've only done it a couple of times now. But I bought some really cool diamond paste from Amazon that works great. And this is the only one I've really done. so far. Hold on. So this is the one I did that I'm the most proud of so far, but it's got some fingerprints and I got to finish it up. But I did a mirror polish on that blade and those titanium scales. Let me see if I can get it wiped off where it looks better. Grab a towel over here. Yeah, John, you would have bought them all polished like that. Like he does a great job at polishing, so there you go. That looks a little better on the titanium. You can't really tell. Let me hold something up to it where you can tell. So it's not quite mirror yet, but I'm getting there. But the blade is pretty much mirror. So I can't get the angles right. Hold on. Put it this way, put this over here. There you go. So the blade is pretty much mirror. And the scales are getting there. I need to hit them a little bit more. Still a little cloudy in places. But it's getting there. But the stuff I used for this, no, John, I still haven't sent up. But did you see my message I sent you earlier on Discord? I bought one of those little buffer things and it's being delivered today. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Mini sander buffer. Let me find, hold on. Let me find the actual link to the one I bought. But John showed me this thing and I was like, heck, let me check and see if they got it on Temu. So they did have it on Temu and it was only 33 bucks. So I bought one and it's going to be delivered today. And it looks like a fun little thing to check out. But here's the link to it. Here we go. So it's a little sander with 2 polishing wheels. And it's little bitty. This thing is tiny and will work great. So it's only 4 inches wide and 5 inches deep. So this little thing should work great for knives. You can see how little it is there with a pair of pliers and a pair of scissors. But it was only 33 bucks. I don't know why it's showing this price. I found one. They have different ones. But it's a tiny little booger. It's with 7 speeds at the power supply. So that looks like that ought to be fun to play with. That's what she said. And I don't know, I'll give you a review on it. I'm going to do a review on it because it could be something that'd be cool for knife people to have. But those little wheels would be perfect for polishing stuff. So yeah, that ought to be, I bet it lasts about 90 days. . But it's got the place for the same little Dremel wheels that I've got that you can use for polishing wheels. So that ought to be cool. It ought to have a few little uses. And since it's so little, I can probably use it right here on the table. Yeah, but you can. It's far enough away that you can hit the front of it without hitting the sander. So that's all that matters, really. As long as you can hit the front of it there without hitting the sander. We'll see how it goes. On the back side there, it looks like it sticks out enough that it's gonna. Wish they had it flipped around where you could see it from that side, but it is what it is. Yeah, you could take the belt off too. Like Mr. said. All right, Michael, have a good day, sir. We'll see you tomorrow. I've got to set up my buffer wheel out in the garage though. I've got the 8-inch nice buffer with the nice wheels. I bought a cool little clone the other day. So y'all remember that magnet lock that the guy showed us that his dad made from Shade Tree Customs? Well, I bought a clone of like a $3,000 version from the original guy that made those. And it's a clone that I hadn't seen or run across. Didn't know it existed, actually. And it is, here, I'll show you the exact knife. Give me half a second here. But it is a, I can't remember the guy's name. All right, here we go. Yeah, Jared hold on. So that Benchmade knife, the Tengu. All right, let me start over. This knife right here, Jared Osher makes the Tengu flipper from Riot, and Benchmade, I believe, has one as well. But he made a maglock version, and let's see, hold on. All right, Tengu maglock. So it's one of those ones that flips around like this that we looked at. There we go. So the one I bought is this one. And it's a full DLC version. Why can't I make this go full screen? I can. So I didn't even know they made this clone. But I got this DLC version of it. So that's the one I bought. And it should be delivered tomorrow or today, maybe. But as you can see, they're $3,000 for the original. So I bought that clone. He wanted a crazy price for it, but I got it for a good deal. I didn't even know they made them. Was trying to find. Yeah, so this one is basically, the one I got is a DLC version. It should look kind of like this, I think. Well, that one's got a pattern on it. But they're crazy expensive. Oh, it's super small. Yeah, TC, I know. I just talked about the Tengu, the Benchmade. I don't know. You must have been in the other room, but I just mentioned that Benchmade. What's going on, Robin? Oh, it's all good, TC. I figured you were busy doing something. So what else are we going to talk about today? The fact that I love this knife, but I hate this knife. Now I understand why John wanted to get rid of one of his Riots recently. Because sometimes, I don't know, seems like my knife tastes have changed. Because I used to love a big, huge, heavy titanium knife. But now this one is almost too heavy. I love it because I love the looks of it. I just wish it had some weight reduction milling. I guess it does, but it's still heavy. I don't know. Maybe I've just gotten used to lighter knives. But this has been one of my one I've wanted for a year now. Don't meet your idols. It's kind of like what this one reminds me of. Not supposed to meet your idols. No, my tastes are just changing, I guess. I don't think I want to sell it because I love it. Like, I've been wanting one forever. And I do love it. I just don't see myself carrying it much, is maybe what I'm saying. And I haven't even put it next to the knife that I bought it to see it next to, which is weird. I thought you already had one, John. Thought you had one with the mirror polished bolster. Yeah, I love the blade shape. Like, the blade shape is my style. Like, love that blade shape. I've got quite a few knives with that blade shape. In fact, so the knife I wanted to see it up next to, I haven't even put it next to. And that's sad in itself. Because I love this Riot Zorro with the compound grind. And I love my J-Cape with that compound grind. I love that grind. I love my Grace with that grind. What else do I got with that grind? Well, I don't guess this counts. But I got my mini J cape with that same grind. I love a harpoon and a compound grind. This almost has it. Brian Brown has the harpoon. The ProTech is an oligarch. It's an oligarch auto. Yeah, I don't know how a warranty could be somebody's favorite shape, that's for sure. Now, talking about liking it, you can like multiple different blade shapes, but thinking it's better, there's no way. But yeah, liking it is kind of a harsh word. Because you could like it, but it not be your favorite. I'm trying to go through, and I know I've got something else with that grind. But I'm not seeing it, so oh well. I forgot to send Sever that knife he wanted. I thought he wanted $650 for it. Did he drop the price? You talking about number 45, Robin? I even know the number of it. Are you talking about number 45, Robin? He had it for $650 earlier. I was thinking about hitting him up. I'm on top of things. I've already seen it this morning. I got my alert set. But yeah, these two knives. I love the Zorro. And I will carry it. Now that I've got this one, I'm going to start carrying this one. Because it's a perfect 4-finger knife for me. I love the grind, and I was always worried about carrying it because it was my best Riot. But now that it's not my best Riot, now I can carry it. So yeah. But I hate that. Because I love the knife. And this thing, somebody asked me about this the other day, and I started looking at it, and it's got super nice pattern, like grippy pattern, and the lockup is super solid on this knife, like side to side and back and forth. So yeah, these are good. It's got great relief here. Oh my God. I hit it with the, luckily I hit it with the G10. Well, that's not a fair trade. I don't need two. Why do I need two Zorros? And why do you need two Tigers? That don't make no sense. Yeah, I saw your Nimbly, and it made me think of my leek, or lek. because they favor each other quite a bit. I shouldn't have said I didn't like the Tiger, because I do love it. I'm just going to have to... I guess it's because I haven't carried a heavy knife in a while. I haven't been carrying my Shaman, and it's super heavy, and I love it. Let me see what they compare. Yeah, the Nimley's got some weird lines on it, I think. And this chisel grind is super cool. It's all flat on one side. Yeah, let's see what they weigh compared to each other. I've carried this Shaman a ton. So the Shaman weighs 6.73. And 6.86. So they're within 1/10 of an ounce of each other. So I should get over the fact that it's heavy, because I still carry my Shaman from time to time. And I took off that nipple, so they probably weighed the same. Yeah, Robin, the first time I took it apart and disassembled and put it back together, it freaked me out, because I didn't know about chisel grinds. So I put this knife back together, and I thought I had really screwed up because the blade centering was off. And I was like, oh my God, why is it so bad off? And then I realized that it's totally flat on this side, and the grind goes all on that other side. So if you ever get one, don't freak out when you disassemble and reassemble it, because the centering is not on. I got it around the same time I got my I got it about the same time I got my Arc Form Theory, which is another cool shaped knife. They both had those weird thumb studs. Chisel grinds can be way sharper, John. So Japanese chefs use chisel grinds. So a chisel grind edge can be way finer because there's only one side to it. So it doesn't have two angles. It's only got one of those. So it's like this instead of like this. So it's very, very slicey, and they use them for food prep, but they're super sharp. Chisel grinds are. And a lot of Japanese chef knives are chisel grind. Yeah, throw it up in the Discord, Fred. But if you look up Japanese chef chisel grind, this guy might answer your questions. Why are Japanese kitchen knives chisel grind?
of the Japanese style kitchen knives like this Honesuki that you can see in front of you, provided to me by Doll Strong Knives. But have you ever looked at them and wondered to yourself, why do so many Japanese kitchen knives come in a chisel ground configuration, a single edged? I'm going to try and kind of explain it. There's a lot of benefits for that. We're going to talk about that. That's the subject of today's video. So let's turn this around and talk out about it from above.
All right.
So guys, like I said in the intro, we're going to take a quick look at Japanese style kitchen knives, and well, not just Japanese kitchen knives, but chisel ground kitchen knives in general. Now, this is what you're typically going to see on a kitchen knife. Both of these are Doll Strong Knives, by the way. Hey, channel sponsor. Sometimes guys like me that are professional sharpeners will establish a bias on a knife at the edge, which means that the angle's a little bit more chiseled on one of these than the others, and it's going to preclude some of the issues that you have with a V-ground knife, which is why they make chisel ground knives to begin with. So these knives are what you're typically going to see. They come down even on both sides. There is a drastic difference between what you see on a traditional European style knife and a traditional Japanese style kitchen knife. So let's get this out of the way, and we're going to talk about what some of the benefits of a chisel ground edge on a kitchen knife are. So one of the many reasons you may choose to use a chisel grind on something like a kitchen knife or woodworking tool is the acuteness and fineness of this edge. It's going to allow you to have the maximum cutting potential and not have to worry about wavering edges and things like that. They take an extremely acute edge on a chisel, and they are very well supported. That transition comes down and you have a good bit of material behind it, a lot like a Scandi grind, which is basically two chisel grinds put together to make a perfect V. These are incredibly good for a lot of things, woodworking, cutting, and things like that. But you have a very, very acute edge that works really well and can be biased from right-handed to left-handed. If you were to find a professional, a superior professional custom kitchen knife, and you wanted it done in this fashion, you could order left or right-handed grind, so that in the cut that knife is going to work better for you, because this way you've got your flat edge coming down. So super, super, super acute fine edge. That would be the first reason. You get a lot of cutting potential.
We're not going to watch this whole thing.
A typical Japanese chef's knife per se. This is a poultry knife. So while it has a lot of the typical look of a Japanese kitchen knife, it does not have a forward-facing edge, because this allows you to use that heavier part here to get into bone and then clean up and cut and things like that. But there's your first reason, is the acuteness and sharpness of it. So let's go ahead and look at the next reason you might want.
The ease of maintenance.
And that is going to be ease of maintenance and lifetime and length of use. So I'm not removing material from both sides of this knife when I sharpen. As you can see, there is no bevel. Only the areas that you can see where I've just touched this to remove the burr, it gets basically one finishing pass flat on the stone, and you can see where that material has touched. So you don't have a very pronounced bevel on the back of this knife.
So you're not taking off material,
front, which means it's easier to maintain one angle than two, and
controllability.
Now this is a small little thing that someone may want to bring up, but if you're cutting with a Japanese style kitchen knife and you've got the material and you've got your knuckles rolled back, it gives you a much cleaner gliding surface, because I don't know if you notice, a lot of people, they use just the very tips of their fingers and they chop like this. If you're using a V-ground knife, you're much more likely to cut yourself. This is a much cleaner of your cut. Now, I know a professional chef's not going to have a problem with this. They probably, I mean, may or may not. But I drew this here. You know, you got a V, and that's an LOL, and a chisel. So what you get here is, as you're cutting, the material goes both ways. So you can have a tendency, as you can see here, that the ends of your cuts are going to be a little off, like angled like this. With a chisel ground edge, you come straight in. And now this is why they're done in sushi knives. Sushi knives in particular are a very good representation of this, because as you cut, that material that's peeling off both directions on this one, well, it only peels off one direction here. So you get a nice, consistent, clean cut. So you're going to have that cut on both sides that's nice and clean. It's going to be much more squared off. Things are going to have a lot less tendency to stick to your blade and ruin it, especially like sushi.
All right. So all that makes sense. So that's cool. All right, Fred, did you post those pictures on the Discord? Knife picks. No, Fred, I don't think you did. I was waiting on you to hear the ding, but there's Drewski's Nimley. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you showed that one, Fred. Yeah, you showed that one before because I told you that I love the lightning bolt. It was the day I was showing my JK. I thought you were going to show the combination Nimley something else. What did you say? You said Nimley JK Lek combo. Oh, is that what you're calling that knife? Okay, so it's got it's got the lightning bolt from the Nimley. I got you. It's got the thumb stud from the Lek and the body of the JK. All right, yeah, you showed that one. I forgot. Let's go look up chisel ground folding knives. There's quite a few. I believe Chavez makes some. So Emerson makes some for sure. So I've got an Emerson clone. Microtech Well Shark with the chisel grind. See what else we have. Benchmade Pagan CRKT Rozelles. See what that is. Oh, that's a fixed blade, I guess. Alright, so there's lots of folding knives. Let's see. Let's go to like Blade HQ and type in and see if so ProTech. The Emersons have it. All right, that didn't work out good. Let's see. That didn't work out good. I believe TC mentioned a couple last time I asked this question. Yeah, here's the Chavez with a chisel grind. Emerson, Roselle, Bourbon Blades. What is this knife? I didn't know Sanrenmu had one. SRM. That's a weird looking knife.
Hi guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge.
Oh, it's got a chisel at the front.
Same thing's true on this knife. So it's very much the same.
Weird. Yeah, Emerson. Oh, sorry. I'm not showing. I couldn't find any anyway, really. I wasn't really doing anything. I was looking around. The Emerson's. Sorry. I wasn't really. There was only a couple, and yeah, so Knife Center didn't have any. Blade HQ had a few, including, I showed this one. Protex got a couple, and Chavez makes a chisel grind. So they make a few different models. Some of their integrals. That's a kickstop with a chisel grind. So you can see it's only ground on that side. Hold on just a second and I'll show you another one that I've got that I always forget about. Ugh. It's a CQ7, I guess, or something. So I've got the I've got two Emersons. So I've got this Emerson right here. So this one is a CQ7 with a regular grind. So you see that this one has a grind on both sides. And then this is the CQ7 that has the chisel grind. So it's flat on that side. It's got the chisel grind on that side. So from this side, they both look the same, except this one has the big crazy wave guide thing. But on this side, they look totally different. But yeah, you can get them. You take off a lot less material when you're sharpening them. It takes a lot. It's a lot quicker to sharpen them. So that's why chefs use them, because they can touch up their knives super quick. So with this one, it would be straight. You know, you cut off that end of something, but it actually makes both sides straight, Pete. Because when you make one side straight on something, you're making the other side. So that's why in his drawing, he had both of those square, because when you're only peeling off one side, it's going to peel that side off, but it's still going to be straight, because you can't cut something in half and have one side straight and the other side at an angle. They're both going to be straight. I don't know if that makes sense, if you understand what I'm saying. But that's why his drawing had squared edges on both sides. Because if you cut something that's square and you've got a straight edge on one side, the side that you cut off is going to match that side, so it's going to be straight also. Yeah, but it'll push the material that way. Christopher, ask and ye shall receive. And there's me. I need to shave for sure. There's the camera. These things are great except for the clip. But yes, Christopher, what did you want to know? The clips on these suck because they make a V and they want to constantly just push out. So if you do get a sigil or a sigil clone, you want to get the Microtech version because it has the real clip. This is an Evil Eyes with the mirror polish. But yeah, with this pocket clip though, let me just show you. So when you put it in a pocket, it wants to, it has absolutely zero grab. Zero. Oh, this clip is the worst clip ever, Pete. Like, it literally does not grab nothing. Because if you think about it, it's always making a V. And it's always trying to push itself away from whatever you've got it on. So the new ones tilt up and make that little... Yeah, where it pops out. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Pete, where it raises up here to make it parallel to the knife. That new little utility knife has that, whatever that knife's called. Forgot what that knife's called, but that little utility one has one of those clips that you push on it and it pops up. Should you get the Lemifshi or the Evil Eyes? I would get the Evil Eyes if you can find one, but just know that you're going to get it. Stupid Marfione probably. So have y'all heard all the pushback about people selling all their Microtech knives this week because they hate Marfione? And have you heard that Microtech is gonna stop, or they're making a bunch of knives that don't have the zero blade play anymore, or the zero whatever, because of the lawsuit with Hulk? But yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff going on with all that. I know a bunch of guys that are selling all their Microtechs because of how much they hate that guy now. And I've always said he was a tool. But the Microtech sigil has the good clip. So it's got a regular clip on it. Let me see if I can show it to you. So you see how it's got a regular clip. So the Microtech versions, but the Marfione custom versions don't. So that's got the dragon skin and everything. Well, I guess this one is a Marfione custom, but it's still made by, or maybe it's a newer version. I don't know. But if you go look, so that one has the push out clip. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the Marfiones. No, that's a Marfione too. But those push out clips suck. The ones with the... Where's Arizona Custom Knives? Come on, load up. So yeah, so you got different versions. That one has a little bitty clip, but at least it's not a push-up clip. This one has the same clip, so it's got a real clip on it. But then you go down to some of these custom ones, and they got that crappy clip. I wish you could replace the crappy clip with the good one. But like this one, I think, has the crappy clip. It might not. Yeah, it's got the push-up clip. Crazy. Yeah, Fred, the post on Reddit said that they were going to still be making both of them. So there's a ad with his face on it on Reddit here. I went to it earlier. Hold on. See if I can find that post. Yeah, right here. They got rid of it because people asked for it. New Ultratech 4, no zero blade play. So, it says right here, one guy down here responded, because they have their own patents. It says they have their own patents and will continue to sell and make the ZBP Ultratech. Some people don't care for the ZBP. The new non-ZBP Ultratechs will be cheaper and start at $299. So they're going to keep making them, but they're going to make both versions. But this post has people there's people talking all kinds of crap on this post. But this is the video they put out. Pretty crazy. Nothing to do with them getting sued, I'm sure. But yeah, probably while the lawsuit's going on. Like, you never know. But here's their response. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty wild.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Microtech Knives. On today's episode we're going to take a look at the Microtech Zero Blade Play System and why it's become an industry standard. So stay tuned.
Yeah, so they got their own patents.
Alright, so first and foremost, what is Zero Blade Play? So something that's always kind of plagued out the front knives has been when they were deployed, you had a little bit of blade movement. Now, there were many manufacturers that came out with solutions to this. We weren't the first, we weren't the second, but Microtech wanted to come up with a zero blade play system that was unique to Microtech. So Tony and everyone at Microtech kind of put their heads together, came up with a system, which was the zero blade play system. And we first introduced this over a year and a half or so ago, and we talked about it, and it was the Atreus. The Atreus incorporated the zero blade play system. There was no movement forwards or rearwards, up or down, and it worked really, really well. However, we did not release the knife. We actually showed and debuted the zero blade play system at Blade Show last year. I actually showed the Ultratech, the Gen 3, and it incorporated the zero blade play system as well. But it wasn't for sale. It was just to show the concept because patents had been applied for. Guys, Microtech is not new to intellectual property and protecting our rights for everything that we've designed and engineered. Guys, there are a lot of different ways to do different things. You know, while an engine is an engine, a diesel is not the same as a gasoline engine. So you have to understand these differences in the verbiages when you go through patents. So on the Ultratech, the Gen 3 ZBP, we actually have 10 filed patents. Of that, 7 of them are patented and approved. Once we got those patents in hand, which I have copies of all of those here, these will cover facets of everything from the pocket clip to the X button to the internal mechanism, how it works, and how our system utilizes a single plane to ensure that zero blade play feature. This is unlike all the other systems that are out there. Now, what we did then is we actually introduced the Surefire collaboration with the Microtech Luminary. This was actually the very first zero blade play that was released to the public for sale because all the patents had been approved. Now what zero blade play does is it removes all of that play that you have in there. Doesn't really make the knife function any differently with regards to cutting. It just eliminated or removed blade play. The other thing that Microtech did is they made it where it was user serviceable. So when you have metals, you have...
Yeah, anyway, that's that. I don't want to go over it. That's boring stuff. And actually, we've been going 2 hours and 1 minute, so I got to end this one off. If you haven't seen my unboxing and review, it's premiering right now at 10 a.m. for the Azusa Eldorado for the public. I released it early for members, but now it's going out to the public a minute ago. So I'm going to end this stream, and if y'all want to go over there, I'm going to hop over there and join people that are watching that. Y'all are welcome to join me over there. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a great day. It's been fun. We will do it again tomorrow. If y'all need me, email me up there in the top. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that thumbs up on your way out.